Hi, I'm Haley J. Madison.
And I'm Allison Egan, and we're from Her Name Was Torment 2. And you're watching Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I have another movie review for everybody out there. This was on a movie called Ronin. This is from Arrow Video USA, and it's directed by John Frankenheimer. And what this is about this international group of thieves that get assembled to go after this crate, this box that the contents are unknown, but they have this job. They're supposed to get the box, bring it back, and get paid for it. Well, in the process of all this, something happens and people start betraying each other and backstabbing goes on, and the case gets lost between this organization and that organization. You don't know where the box is going to end up and who's going to get it. The name Ronin actually means like a samurai that no longer serves a feudal lord, and basically they went off and were like a hired gun per se. And when they were no longer samurai, they were called Ronin. They talk about that in the very beginning of the movie, and then they also talk about it later on in the movie when Robert De Niro's character is talking to another gentleman whose his hobby is painting like little figurines, and he's setting up this big samurai kind of like fight going on, and he kind of explains it to Robert De Niro. And everybody in this movie is kind of a Ronin. More or less, I would say, probably the one mostly that would be considered a Ronin is Robert De Niro's character. And maybe, I want to say his name right, Jean Reno, if I say that right. He was Leo in Leo the Professional, or Leon the Professional. And, you know, I would say those two are probably the most that I would call Ronin. The rest are kind of like this ragtag kind of guys that get thrown in together and to do the job. But you know what? They're all kind of a likable group. They all have something about them that I liked, especially Robert De Niro's character. He's just you didn't know if you should trust him, and he's very informative with things. He's very smart, and he wants to know every single detail going on with this job. He's getting like this information that's like kind of vague, and he's like, well, how many men are there? What kind of guns are they carrying? Where's the rendezvous? All this kind of all this kind of stuff that they're kind of just not telling them. And his character, like I said, he's probably my favorite character in the whole movie. And let me just say, if you like car chases, this movie is jam-packed full of car chases. It's like so well done. Like, I really enjoyed the car chases, and it's being done in Paris, so all the streets are kind of like narrow. There are some car chases that they are fighting out in the country per se, like kind of like I don't know, it's like on the side road, but like overlooking on a cliff. But even that's kind of like, you know, I'd rather be in town chasing people with a car around tight corners than on a cliff. But like, it's just really nice background, like beautiful background, and you know that there's these people trying to kill each other. It's kind of like crazy, but like I said, the car chases were great. I really liked the car chases a lot in this movie. Even the killing, it wasn't gory or anything. It was tasteful in a way, but I always enjoyed like when they show somebody in a car sitting with somebody and they show them a gun being pulled on them, and then the next shot you see is like the passenger side window just splatter with blood. I don't know why. I always really like that, and I think that's kind of like in a tasteful way. I don't know. It's just, I just really like how they do that in the movie. There's headshots in here. There's the throats getting cut that, like, being that I guess that it's cleaned up in 4K transfer and everything, I guess it just looks a lot more gory. It doesn't, like, you can't tell. It looks real. Let's just say that. You can't tell that it's fake. It doesn't like enhance the you know, oh, I could see makeup or anything. It looks really cool. So like I said, but it's not gory, and it's kind of tasteful in a way. The only thing that I could think of that I didn't really like was one part where Robert De Niro is in the car with Jean Reno and his character, and you could obviously tell that there is a green screen that is behind them, you know, on the sides and everything. It just looked a little too like perfect, and I guess that's probably because it's cleaned up a little bit. Plus, this came out in 1998. All those effects, I mean, people have been using those effects for a while, but maybe they just didn't perfect it, because a lot of times nowadays it's done so well you can't really tell. You almost think that that's really the background, but this, it was just so obvious that they weren't really driving super fast, you know, on the side of a mountain. But during the car chases, it's done so fast though that you can't tell. At least I couldn't tell that it was maybe, you know, a green screen in the background. But like I said, that would probably be the one complaint I'd have. The other complaint is probably the captions. Now, I always watch the movie with the captions on, and I noticed that some of the words were off. And that's not a big deal, but if you're deaf and, you know, you're watching, you're going to think that's what they say. And if I was sitting in a room with somebody who's deaf and I heard what they said and they're reading the wrong thing, I'd have to be like, hey, that's not what they said. It's close. It's more a simplified version. It didn't happen a lot, but when it did happen, I noticed it. And I just think, well, if I'm going to read it, I want to read the right thing. There's a brand new video interview with director of photography, and then there's You Talking to Me, a 1994 appreciation of Ronin star Robert De Niro by filmmaker Quentin Tarantino. Then there's the Drive-In of Ronin, which looks at all the car stunts in that. There's the Venice Film Festival interviews with Robert De Niro, Jean Reno, and I'm going to say this wrong, Natascha McElhone. I don't know how you say it. In the Ronin cutting room, and it's an archival interview with editor Tony Gibbs. And there's other things on here like the usual theatrical trailer, image gallery. There's an alternate ending on here, which I'm going to tell you right now. I'm so glad they did not go with the alternate ending, because I think the alternate ending sucks. I think it's dumb. I don't like it. I think the way they ended the movie was perfect. It was kind of sad, and that's all. I'm going to give you a little hint of the ending, but I really think the alternate ending really sucked. It could have spawned a sequel, but I also think that that would have ruined the entire movie. I think it would have been good up to that point and be like, that movie kind of was dumb, or at least the ending was dumb. But I thought that the way they ended it originally, or the way they went with, I think it worked out. And then of course you have the new artwork on here, which is from Oink Creative, which is probably my new favorite name for any art created for these editions. And I'll show you the reversible cover right now. Before I do that, I'll show you this is a slip cover, and underneath obviously is the Blu-ray case and everything, but it is a slip cover of the same image. And there is the image again from Oink Creative, the newer artwork, which is really nice. And this is the original one. This is the one that I remember seeing when I would go into a store, and this really didn't make me want to rent it, to be honest. Like, I liked Robert De Niro back then too. It just didn't make me want to watch it. I had no interest in it. I think if this was the cover, or something sort of like this, it probably would have made me want to at least give it a chance. You got people with guns on there, car chases, the way the words are written, I don't know, just more appealing to the eye. And here you have the booklet, and here's the Blu-ray. There is no DVD, and the Blu-ray is Region A, so American players only. Like I said, here's a booklet, and I think my favorite part of the booklet is this. You open it up, and it's like one big scene, and I really, really like that. I think that looks awesome. I think that would look awesome framed and on my wall. So if there's a bigger picture for this, I would definitely like to own it. And then inside, of course, is table of contents. There's interviews and pictures, and then on the back they tell you about the restoration and the process of doing it. One thing I got to point out too is that I never really say this, but I love that Arrow puts out their editions in like these kind of see-through cases, and they're like chunkier. To me, it feels like you're holding something that is not going to break, it's not going to be ruined. Well, usually you get a Blu-ray, it's in that little thin blue case, you know, you open it up, there's the disc, and there's like a piece of paper. Arrow really goes with quality for their things, and I really do like, I wish they would add a slipcase for every one of their editions. Some of them only come like this, which is fine, because again, it's chunkier, and I really like how it feels in my hand, and it feels like you're holding something that somebody's proud of. You know what I mean? Like they put time and effort into it, and it's just, you know, that its quality. And I wish, like I said, I was going to say, I wish they would give a slipcover with every one of them, because even that looks neat to me. I don't know why, but I just think that looks really cool, and they're just very nice, and they feel nice. Some of them feel a little bit different than others. Some of them feel like Crime of Passion felt like a flower petal almost. That's like the best way I could explain it. This one not so much, but it's still nice and smooth, and it just makes it look better. I'm a slipcover fan. I know a lot of people aren't, but I just think Arrow should put every edition out with slipcover unless they have it in a box. Another thing I like to mention is that I really like the relationship in this movie between Robert De Niro's character and Jean Reno. I really like their relationship in this movie. Kind of start off a little kind of weird, like, do I trust him? Do I not trust him? And then they kind of develop this friendship throughout the whole movie. And it's just kind of like, I want them to be friends. You know, I don't want there to be a betrayal there. I want this to work out for them, because they work so well together. And, you know, you just really think that they would actually be friends. Maybe they are friends in real life, but they pull it off so well in the movie. And it was nice to see that there was this friendship. It's just kind of weird in a movie like this. It's so action-packed with things going on in that a friendship gets built. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But anyway, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the trailer for this in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in it, I'll put a link below where you can get it. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on any of the links below in the description box. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.